Did you know humans can only see 1% of the entire visible spectrum? When you look at your hand, you see it because it stops and reflects light, but you cannot see the air because light passes through. However, if there was a little bit of smoke in the air, we would be able to see it because we can only see things that stops light, and that's the nature of our two sensory eyes. Let's say we were in this tiny box, okay? I'm referring to that 1% of access that we have of the entire visible spectrum, and we're trying to get out of that box because we're trying to see beyond that 1%. We're in that box and we look around like, man, we can't get out of the box. We can't get out. That's because our sensory eyes are outward oriented. And if you want to see something that isn't physical, since your sensory eyes can only grasp what's physical, turn inward instead. And when we refer to the third eye, it's literally anything that our two eyes cannot see. Back in far ancient times, humans used to have a third eye, just between their eyebrows, maybe a little bit above. And also, the third eye evolved for us to identify underlying patterns of our lives. Could be in our current lives or in our past lives, things that we were actually not aware of, patterns that just kept occurring. And over the time, as humans started to evolve, the third eye dissipated and sunk into what is now called the pineal gland. And the pineal gland is this organ that lies in the geometrical center of the brain, and it's the only part of the brain that isn't divided in between the two hemispheres. And this organ, which is an endocrine gland, is literally as the size of a grain of rice. So it's really tiny. And the first person who wrote a record of the pineal gland was this Greek physician named Herophilus 3 centuries before Christ. The pineal gland's been here. And you see the word pineal because it comes from the Latin word pinus, meaning that it's shaped like a pine cone. And now you're telling me, well, Tina, okay, we have the pineal gland, but what's the link between the pineal gland and the third eye? Well, when you open up the pineal gland, you see these that line up the interior. And these pinealocytes look just like the rods and cones in the retina of our eyes. And in modern science, we actually found a presence of a third parietal eye in reptiles and amphibians. And that third parietal eye is basically a structure associated with the pineal gland. And there's this tuatara that is in New Zealand, and that little lizard regulates his circadian rhythms, it's for navigation, and sends the polarization of light with that third parietal eye. And the third eye is a sense. And senses, they don't really do anything except for just giving back information to us. What do our eyes do? Do they shoot lasers or heat visions? No, they just return visual information back to us. Same with our hearing. You know how in my previous videos I talked about inner world and outer world? If you haven't, check my videos out. Potentials is what something might be, which is more focused on our beliefs. Inner world and the energetic state is how something is being held. So the outer world, the objective truth. And when we do something, the action is how we use that information we gain from those senses. And the third eye, literally, like, think about this organ, okay? That consists of your mind and all of your other senses working together to make this one powerful organ, the pineal gland, and then acts as a focal point to create a vision. Like I said, our sensory eyes are outward oriented, so if you turn inward, that's how you break from the limitations of your 3D lenses, of your 5 senses. Not only does your third eye see above that 1%, but it's actually the connecting link between the physical and spirit world. It's actually the highest and most powerful source of ethereal energy available to humans, and that's why a lot of like psychics and people who use energy tapped in their third eye to have access to that very powerful power. Actually, this famous philosopher René Descartes wrote in his book and spoke about the pineal gland in Treasure of the Man, and literally said, "My view is that this gland is the principal seat of the soul and at the place in which all thoughts are formed." He literally wrote that in his book about the pineal gland. We're all humans, and to be human is to live with our stories. Our senses navigate those stories. And our sixth sense, the third eye, is the prime sense to follow the story and predict where that story is going towards. When you activate your pineal gland, when you tap in your sixth sense, not only do you just see how a story is going, but you use it, you integrate it in your life for a more positive experience. Thank you for watching this video. My name is Tina. This is Tina's World. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and comment down below if you enjoyed it. And stay tuned for my next video on the benefits of the third eye and why you should open it. Thank you.